This topic is child abuse in families. And some of our points that we're going to be talking about today is the prevalence of child abuse in Australia, possible impact of child abuse on families, some of the risk factors that contribute to child abuse and neglect, and national framework for protecting Australians' children. Children are raised in different environments by different families, by different belief, by different culture in Australia and all over the world. While some children are privileged to be raised in a healthy, safe, and happy manner environment, others were not. Some are abused, maltreated, and being neglected. The prevalence of child abuse in Australia is so alarming and negatively impacting families and the society at large. Children can be maltreated physically, emotionally, sexually, and being neglected, according to Australian Institute of Health and Welfare. A survey conducted some years ago reveals that about 2.5 million Australian adults experienced sexual and physical abuse while growing up. Another research highlighted some adverse effects of child abuse on family, such as reduced social skills, poor school performance, increased crime, poor physical health outcome, mental illness. This can also lead to impaired language ability. Social skills are the abilities children develop while growing up to communicate, to interact with other people in a social setting. Children who are abused while growing up tends to have reduced social skills within their socio-economic environment. Mental illness. Child abuse has been linked to a series of mental illness ranging from a psychological, psychiatric, somatic, medical illness such as anxiety disorders, eating disorders, post-traumatic stress disorders, chronic pain syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, and depression, compared with children not maltreated. We also have further studies which find out that women who experienced child abuse reported higher rates of agoraphobia, obsessive compulsive disorder, social phobia, suicide attempts, and sexual disorders compared to men. And this also can lead to poor school performance. There are strong evidence that have proven that maltreated children have lower educational performance than other group of children raised without an abuse. And this can also lead to increased crime. Children that have been exposed to abuse or neglected may possibly end up transferring aggressive behavior towards others, and this may lead to increase in crime behavior. Some children who are maltreated and exposed to a crime from home or their environment as a witness or a victim have the tendency of committing crime, and this may even make them inflicting these pains on others or become violent themselves. And we also have the language impairment. It's awful, like experience which children who are maltreated go through has impact on their communication skills and language. Evidence have proven that abuse and neglect in early stages on an infant can affect their speech and may delay their development. And poor physical health outcomes. Child abuse has been associated with a wide range of physical, chronic, or future illness, which include but not limited to the following, according to Child Welfare Information Gateway 2019. These are some of the poor physical health outcomes which are listed here. We have diabetes, we have lung disease, we have vision problems, heart attack, arthritis, back problem. This can also lead to high blood pressure to them, and this can damage their brain. And we also have some risk factors that contribute to child abuse and neglect. Parent and caregiver. Factors that contribute to child abuse and neglect. Child factors that contribute to child abuse and neglect. Family factors that contribute to child abuse and neglect. We have some community and environmental factors that contribute to child abuse and neglect. Some risk factors for reoccurrence of child abuse and neglect. And we also have some co-occurring risk factors for child abuse and neglect. We have some national framework for protecting Australia's children. According to this, protecting children is everyone's responsibility, according to the National Framework for Protecting Australia's Children 2010. The prevalence of child abuse in Australia has influenced Australian government to increase a group called National Framework for Protecting Australia's Children to improve their safety and well-being of children that have been abused and neglected. That is why they set up these strategies to minimize these issues. Children live in safe and supportive family and communities. Children and families access adequate support to promote safety and intervene early. Some of the risk factors for child abuse and neglect are addressed. So these are the strategies in order to minimize these issues.